This is crazy to be having a conversation with you because I've known you forever and a day at this point.
Dude, you knew me when I really wasn't and you were always so nice to me.
But you want to know what's so interesting?
Huh?
I never felt that. Like you were already doing your thing.
No, I was. Yeah, no. I was a writer for a TV show you were on. I was getting paid like a little bit, but not much. And that was my first gig ever as a writer, or maybe my second gig. I wasn't on camera. You were on Jobs That Don't Suck.
Yeah.
I was a writer on that because Schultz forced me on, and that was all I had. So that was all. You were like so nice, and I was like, what a nice lady, because I got nothing.
Wait, okay, so because we're talking about the MTV days. So for a lot of people who may know Akaash now, they may know you from your podcast with Andrew.
Yeah.
They might know you as a comic all over the country, right?
Just a nauseating number of clips online.
Right.
Yeah.
But for many of us who have known you throughout the years, like that's how you were already on your grind for such a long time. So I didn't know it was through writing first.
No, I was a comic, but that was how I got my foot in the door at MTV.
Got it.
Was writing.
And then you came to be part of the Girl Code family, the Code family.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? How did all this success take off for you?
So I did the Guy Code, Girl Code thing. They had me on all these MTV shows, and I was like, dude, I'm killing it. I'd started dating my now wife, and I was like, it's all up from here. I remember 2017, I made $100K for the first time in my life, and I was like, what's up, world? It's over. Then 2018, I went flat broke. All of a sudden, MTV was just like, silently like, we're done. You're too old, probably. I don't blame them. I was like 34. And then I had nothing else. I would like beg for writing jobs or whatever. I probably made like $5,000 that whole year. I don't know, but like I went flat broke. And then luckily the podcast was starting to build like a real passionate fan base. So I would just say to Schultz, like, I think we could start a Patreon and make some money. I think we could start a Patreon and make some money.
What made you believe in that for Flagrant? Like, when did the idea come up?
I saw another podcast called Come Town doing very well on Patreon. Now those guys, Stavros is killing it. The other guy's name that's escaping me right now. I don't mean any disrespect, but he's a super funny guy. Nick something. He's super funny. But anyway, they were doing really well, and I was like, we could replicate this success, I think. Mm-hmm. Their raw numbers were way bigger than ours, but I just felt like the love that we got, because back then everything was super PC and like...
Sure.
We were just like, we don't care. We're going to say the thing if it's funny. Looking back, I don't know how funny it was, but it was fun because it was inappropriate.
Right.
So I was like, I think people would rock with us. And he was like so busy. I was like, I kind of pushing, but then I went like fully broke. Like, I don't know where next month rent is going to come from. And then I was like, dude, I go verbatim, I'm literally pleading with you at this point. Can we please start the Patreon? And then he said, yeah, let's just run it. And then he and I talked about like how we wanted to set up the tiers and all that. And then that started doing fairly well, fairly quickly.
Were you surprised at the success behind it?
No, I got surprised during COVID when it like really started to blow up. And then we started to get like all these huge guests. That was all surprising. The Patreon, I felt like this is fun. This is a thing. And it felt like at that time, honestly, it was like Schultz would always say his mom told him the ascent is the most fun. The climb.
That's right.
That was the best. Like we had a little passionate fan base and we just kind of said whatever and did whatever and no eyes were on us. That was the best.
Yeah. Now, does it feel like too much pressure?
Not too much pressure, but it's a lot of noise around everything I do. Like I liberal people think I'm this MAGA conservative because I had a conversation with Trump. Conservative people think I'm this liberal cuck because I had a conversation with so-and-so, and it's like, it's just a lot of noise.
Yeah, and I'm sure the intentions of starting a conversation, you probably, I don't know, it's like you want it to be successful, but to be able to say, hey, we had the next president on our show. Also, you have Bernie Sanders on the show. I mean, you guys have had different people come on to the show.
Yeah.
Was there a time when people turned down your show? Do you remember that time?
Many people have turned it down. Even now, Kamala turned it down. Yeah, I was begging Kamala's people to get her on, and then they literally said, well, we would have if you didn't have Trump on. Now it's too big of a risk. And I was like, well, that's stupid. What a debate is, one candidate talks and then the other talks. How is this different?
Yeah.
And she bodied him in that debate. I thought she should have gone on more pods and, shown herself if she had that like personable side. I think we could have brought that out of her and it would have been good. I think. I don't know.
It's so crazy to be having this conversation again, because just seeing your journey, and then now we're talking about you headlining your own show at Radio City Music Hall.
I'm very excited for this.
April 18th.
Very excited. 6,000 seats is a lot to fill, though. So please, everyone, buy tickets.
Please,
that's overwhelming
Akaash
number.
Singh will be headlining.
Yeah.
Radio City Music Hall, Saturday, April 18th. Why this is important? Because you've seen someone come up on the grind, hard work, being down and out, and not really thinking life is going to turn out the way it has been so far, right? But you know what I really appreciate is that you've been open about the struggle and appreciating this as a milestone of you being on that stage.
Man.
What does this mean for you? This is your first time.
First time. I've done guest sets there for like 4 minutes, but it's a different... I remember 2014, I went and saw Dave Chappelle. He hadn't really started getting back into the specials and the full-time stand-up. He did like almost like a pop-up, and he sold it out super quick. And I remember sitting there and being like, oh, this is the dream venue. This is the one. MSG would be awesome and such a milestone, but this is the one that's like, this is where you need to be.
Why? What makes it so special?
I think probably because Chappelle was going there and I worshipped him for so long. I was like that. But it just felt like big, but still intimate. And that's, now having performed there, it doesn't feel intimate. It feels like you're looking into outer space. There's so many people. Yes. But when I was in the audience, I was like, this somehow still feels intimate, but it's big, and it just feels like it means something. The Rockettes are here. It's like a New York City landmark. This one feels like the one. And you know, it's crazy. My wife, when I was going broke, she was making a vision board, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't know why. I thought it was too good to do that. Like,
no, were you guys married at this time? Or
no,
just
we're dating.
Okay, this is dating. You broke on her couch, living off of her.
For a little while. At this point, we're in a shared one bedroom. She and I have the living room. We put up a wall, and then there's a guy who has the bedroom. Shouts to my old roommate, Case. He's the best.
Is so great.
But it's just me and her and our puppy in the living room with the French doors. So that's our bedroom. And I couldn't even afford that. So
she's looking out for you. She's believing in you and your dreams.
Yeah, I mean, she's stressed, but like, she's like, I'm not leaving. Basically, she's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I want to be with you. I want to marry you. You're my guy. You're my man.
Now, did she know how broke you were at this point?
Yeah.
She knew you were flat
I was
broke.
very transparent about.
Okay, so you didn't like lie to keep her.
No. I don't. I would rather be honest and everybody leave than be phony and
and stay.
Yeah, genuineness is something I strive for. I'm not saying I'm the most honest person, but that's what I strive for. But then I remember she made a vision board for me, and she put Joe Rogan on there. She put Radio City on there. She put one other thing that didn't happen, but I don't care. I think it was the Comedy Cellar, and I was like, well, who cares? But Radio City's happening. Joe Rogan has happened twice, and then I think she might have put Netflix on there. So we'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. We'll see.
Fingers crossed, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you need to thank her, right?
All the time. I buy her nonstop things.
I know. I see her. I love her, by the way.
She loves you.
I love her. I think she is so kind and genuine, and I love that she talks whatever she wants to talk about. She pops that at whoever.
Yeah.
But there's something special about that, and you're really lucky.
I agree.
You're really lucky.
Yeah, no, it got me in some hot water, but I don't. It's fine. I don't, like, it was good for me to go through that and be like, oh, that's all noise.
All of it.
None of that matters. Yeah.
Yeah. And, for people who are listening, they might know, but it's like a different audience. Like, I didn't realize in the space that you function in podcast world, because you guys are very, very famous. I didn't realize like people were giving your wife a hard time for standing up for you or having an opinion.
No, she said shit that if I said it, everybody would say it was a joke. And she and I have because we've only had sex with each other, she and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a what you say. She doesn't give a what I say. I have her location. She has my location. Every time if you look at 90% of her TikToks, they're on our couch. Like, she don't go nowhere without me. So I'm like, whatever you say, I don't care. I know you. But the internet just ran with it and made it a thing. And at first, it really f***ed me up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you really feel? Because I can't ever gauge, because you are a comic. You're so good at this. You do have thick skin.
Yeah.
I have seen, meaning for the most part, the success that you have had. I don't know. I don't feel like things really faze you like that. So I couldn't gauge if it really hurt.
I was deeply fazed.
But what hurt you about?
It's just they're saying it about your wife. And I think the stuff they say about me will make me insecure. But when you're saying this about my wife and you're calling her all this vile stuff, people were messaging my mom and her mom saying she's a whore, she's this, she's that. It was like, yo, this is crazy how far this has gone. And everything she gets said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this to 1,000 famous people. So I don't knock the people who did it. Sure. But it did let me... I think God does everything for a reason, and I think for me, this was God's way. Because this is how I found out I had some level of fame.
This is recent.
Yeah.
So you're just realizing your fame now?
I didn't know, because people would be like, what was your I made it moment? I was like, I haven't made it. What are you talking about? And now it's like, well, when the whole world called my wife a whore, I realized I'm doing okay.
That you've made it.
Yeah. That's how I found out. But I think it was just like, I'm watching them say this about her. Y'all don't know her. You're doing it off a 2-minute TikTok.
That's right.
I know this woman, and I read people pretty well. That's kind of like what most of my clips are about.
Right.
I'm not that big of a moron that a girl would lie to me for 14 years or whatever,
right.
10 years, about being a virgin, and I would not even bother watching her TikToks to find out she talks about getting, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
None of this, how are we believing this? I couldn't understand it. But I think it was God's way of telling me, you always say you want like a happy, healthy family. You need to know what comes with this fame thing and decide if you really want it. And I realized I don't really want that. I want to be the best stand-up comedian I can be, hopefully ever. Yeah. All that other shit, I don't care. If we go to the Met Gala, she probably made me. I don't give a about walking on this stupid red carpet. Your pick, like, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
Now I just want the happy, healthy family. And you know what? You actually probably have dealt with more than I have. And maybe even more than what she has, because they've been going at y'all for years.
A gazillion years at this point. That's why I think I'm so surprised, because you have always been so nurturing to Colin and I. Every time that we have seen you, you have done nothing but show us support. So it's always conflicting for me when I see your name in the news or something. I'm like, Akaash is a nice guy. What's going on? I don't even tune in like that, right? Because of what's happened and what I've been through and seeing the lies that people have said about Colin, I'm very, God was teaching me a lesson early on, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really look at headlines. I don't look at clips like that. There's always, now I'm always like, well, I need to know everything before I have like an opinion. Yeah. So that's why I was more surprised, because you've always given me words of encouragement to keep going. You've never, man, it's like you made me feel good at some of the times when I've ran into that I know I'm not feeling well about everything. I don't want to, just like you, I don't want to see people bashing my husband. Yeah. It's just terrible, especially when you know this person, they're a good person and they're selfless and all this. So I was surprised that, and I don't know, maybe because I was like, maybe he's acting because he could do this. Maybe now like comics are all actors now. But then I can understand why it bothered you. Like hearing that
man,
right
that's
now.
The love of your life, and you're with the love of your life.
That's right.
And here's a story I'll tell on your behalf that I would tell everybody. This was before, probably the off season before the whole controversy started, before the protests and all that started. Colin came to a taping of Guy Code versus Girl Code, and I tell the story to everyone who ever brings up Colin. He was the most low maintenance person I've ever seen. Even people who are on camera, like this guy's worth. At this point, I think it's on a $100 million contract. I don't know what the bonus was, but he's a rich guy. Super quiet. I remember I went up to him. I shook his hand. He said, "Hi, I'm Colin. Nice to meet you." Gave me a handshake. Was very kind. Didn't ask for he wasn't like pressing anybody to get him XYZ. And then I remember this, man. You were filming a segment. Let's be honest. MTV's paying us dog money, especially relative to what he's doing. The viewership of Guy Code versus Girl Code versus an NFL game is like not even a thing.
Or his Super Bowl game,
but
whatever,
I swear to God, I remember he's sitting behind me and his elbows are on his knees and he's leaned over watching you film so attentively. And then you said some wild shit, which I love about you. You're the super, talk about flagrant. You're the most flagrant. I love it. You said something about how you made him do something to like prove the bond, like with the door open or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I poop in front of him. Well, the door open. It's
you
important.
force the issue. Yeah. He taps my knee when that happens. He don't even know me. I'm just some bum on this. Like he taps my knee. He goes, "That's true." And he was so like proud of you. And I was like, "Yo, this is a good dude." So whenever that whole controversy started, I was like, "Yeah, I don't give a what y'all have to say about him." You know what I mean?
And I'll never forget that, Akaash. Like, because you could have easily just continued the bandwagon of just disrespecting him or just, talking mean. And you always share that story, and it always like makes my heart happy because that is Colin.
Yeah.
So kind. So through and through, that is Colin.
Yeah.
So I get how you feel when someone's talking about your family.
Yeah,
what are we talking about right
no context,
now?
Yeah.
But do you feel like, how do I say this? I don't want to say it's like, is it on site or are you evolved at this point?
There's certain people that it's like, I don't know if it's on site or what, but it's like, I think God will give you yours, and
sure.
That's
You're
kind of
evolved.
what I kind of try to remember that. But there's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything. I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want that.
That's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever. You came at my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
I get it. How did she feel about everything?
She was, look, it affected her for sure, but she said, this is where I don't like, I wish people knew, and I said this to her before she started doing social media. She's the most like multi-dimensional person I know, where she pops off, says crazy shit, says disrespectful shit, but also is so spiritual, so grounded, and so like so sweet, and so like she has so many facets to her. She said on like the first week this was happening, she goes, "You know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares that anybody thinks?" And I was like, I care. What are you talking about? Were you crazy? But she just kind of kept that energy. She was like, whatever y'all think about me is whatever y'all think about me. I know who I am. God knows who I am. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's stressful, and like I had to realize there's a lot of people's voices in your ear, like talking in your ear, like she needs to do this, she needs to do that, and then I had to realize like she's the one that's actually strong and courageous, and the rest of us are like running and hiding and going dark and blah blah blah. And she's like, no, I know who I am. Go f yourselves.
Yeah.
So
were you surprised that some people were telling you that she shouldn't be on social media? Like she shouldn't have a voice?
No, I think the thing I guess
what was surprising?
Yeah, the thing that surprised me is so many people ran and made videos when they have my number or they have we've messaged each other on Instagram, and it's like, yo, you could have just asked me what really is happening.
Yeah.
Like people are saying foul stuff about her, and one guy was like, man, I hope I get to talk to him, and it's like, man, you have my number. You could just text me. He's talking about my marriage and like, oh, I know he had an arranged marriage, and it's like, really? Because you weren't invited to the wedding, so how would you know if we had an arranged marriage or not? We didn't, which I wouldn't mind if we did. But I guess the idea was like he didn't know what he was getting into because it was an arranged marriage.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, but you didn't. I never even thought of inviting you. You weren't. If I thought of 1,000 people, you didn't make that list. So why are you running out here talking? You could just reach out as a human. And then I realized this fame thing is a monster, man.
That's right.
And people want that badly.
That's
and they'll
right.
run and talk about you for views, even
That's
if you're
right.
friends. And that's where I'm like, man, I don't want that. I don't want to sacrifice the morality. I didn't get into this to be famous. I thought it was cool at the time. Now it's like, it is what it is. I got into this to be the best comic possible. Everything else is noise. Take care of my family, be the best comic possible. Everything else is nonsense. And that's kind of where I sit right now.
And you feel good about it?
I feel much lighter, dude, when I realized like my ticket sales were not affected. They've gone up, if anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, these people have their community online and they bash people, and that's good for you. That's not an existence I would love, and I have my existence, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Were you surprised at how many people were so quick to say something because they thought it was your downfall? Like you were like, oh, that's how you really feel about
Yeah, I
me.
guess I don't know if I thought it was because I don't. This sounds like I'm being fake humble. I think because I'm surrounded by so many people so much more successful than me, I never see myself at any kind of peak. So to me, there's like no downfall to happen because again, this is like the first time I thought, oh, I have some level of fame that what my wife says is newsworthy.
Right.
But so I don't think downfall. I think I was just like, oh, y'all just want this fame thing more than anything, and I've realized it's addictive, and it can, I think, lure you in before you realize it. You're addicted to it, and you're saying stuff about like we're supposed to be really good friends, and you're saying stuff or letting stuff slide, and I'm like, you're not a bad person. You just really want the fame, and you might be kind of broken if you've seen the other side of fame and you've experienced it and you still want it. There's probably something wrong with you. Ooh. I don't personally want that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize this is where we're at now. Truly.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
Because that it's freeing.
Yeah, it is freeing.
It's freeing now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. But I think it's also revealing. I think it shows everybody's cards, right? When you go through something, you're like, oh, that's what you said. You have my number. You could have just called me.
My circle got a lot smaller. And you're in the circle, even though we don't hang out. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, but she didn't run her mouth. She didn't do it. She's on the radio every day or whatever.
No.
She could have done whatever she wanted, and she just didn't.
Yeah.
And that is a thing I admire. There's
sure.
people I thought I was sure would run with this that didn't say anything. That I was like, oh, that's cool. I respect you for not just dogpiling and doing it for views.
I also think it's weird when people pull family in.
Yeah.
Right? Like for something that they don't know. And it's like now you're running with a whole narrative that like you don't even know is true.
Yeah.
And I have just, again, God humbled me maybe years and years ago. Like, I know what lies can do and what that pain can be. So I try to be as respectful as I can. It may not make me as popular,
right?
But I can sleep all right at night knowing, hey, man, I didn't do that when I could have. I could have kicked you in the back and but I never did that.
Right.
Well, this has to be hard because here you are headlining.
Yeah.
Radio City Music Hall, and you don't want to be famous, but you are.
Yeah, look, being famous
It's
for
happening,
what
Akaash.
you love to me is different. Like, I don't think I could ever sell as much as a Nate Bargatze. I think he's super funny, but I look at that and I'm like, oh, that guy's famous for the thing that he does.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that he loves. Not even the thing that he loves. He's famous for stand-up. That seems like a different thing, and that's like, okay, I love this thing more than anything on earth, and that is the cost of doing this thing I love more than anything on earth. But trying to chase the fame and being a part of some cultural conversation, I don't love that. I don't want that. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'm good on all of that. Y'all can have it. Good for you. I don't want that. I want to be the best stand-up ever, and whatever comes with that, I'm willing to pay that cost. Because that's the thing that I feel God put me here to do.
Do you feel like you have to battle that as far as like, hey, I'm a comic first before somebody's like, hey, we know you as a cultural commentary kind of, personality?
Early on, it was a much bigger issue. Like,
really?
I think when I got recognized or whatever, 90% of the time it would be, I love you on Schultz's podcast. It wouldn't even be I love you on Flagrant. Yeah. And then as
but
the
it's
comedy,
your guys' podcast.
Yeah. But I didn't.
But you don't take. Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to have any ego about that kind of thing. But like as I did more and more stand-up clips and whatever, now I get recognized more for stand-up, which is great because it's like, well, that's what I love. Everything else, probably, who cares?
As a comic, has there ever been a joke that's gone viral for the wrong reasons that you feel as a comic you should either double down on or clear up? Like, how do comics look at this? And then how do you look at it?
I'm sure I've said 1,000 things that I'm like, ugh, I wish I didn't say that.
Sure.
Yeah, I was trying to be funny and it didn't work out.
Right.
One thing I've tried to be better about on stage, sometimes you'll say the thing and you'll know right away, like, that didn't come out how I wanted.
Really?
I'll try to now just catch myself and be like, guys, that sounded crazy. My bad. I didn't mean it like that or whatever. And then people will usually have good intentions with that. But I don't know. I think as I got older, it's like if I really actually regret it, then apologizing is not a big deal. I don't know if I've had a ton of those that have come out yet. Again, I don't think I'm famous enough for that. So when that happens, if I truly regret it and I'm like, yeah, okay, I see how this was a really bad joke, then I'll apologize. And I'll say probably like, I hope you understand my intention was to be funny. Sure. I get it. I failed. No big deal. I'm going to move on. I'm going to keep trying. Y'all can be upset next time too. Fine. I don't care. I will keep trying. It's like in a relationship.
That's
if I fuck up, I apologize to my wife. And then we move forward. Like, I'll make jokes with her sometimes I hurt her feelings. But that doesn't mean we stop making the jokes or I stop trying. Like, I shoot my shot. And I think that's what the apology would be.
What was a joke that you tried to do early on in your career and it bombed? And it still, not that it still stings you now, but it taught you one of the biggest lessons.
I think my advice to every young person, I bombed all the time. And comedians still bomb. And what I try to tell people who don't watch a ton of comedy is like, if you watch basketball, Steph Curry has bad nights shooting the basketball. Mm-hmm. But you see him 81 other times, so you know how good he is. If Steph Curry can have a bad night shooting the basketball, I can certainly have a bad night doing stand-up. But you only see me that one time, so you're like, that guy sucks. Right. You know what I mean? So I think any night I could catch a bad one. I could catch a rough set anytime. It doesn't matter. You always got to be vigilant. But the thing I try to remember is the failure is like the best teacher. I bombed so much coming up because I'm trying to do this edgy comedy. I'm this little Indian guy and just like kind of angry at the time. And like, yeah, it was rough. I would get pulled off of stages. It was brutal.
You got pulled off?
I've had to sneak out of the side door. Oh my God. I've had every bomb you can imagine. When I sink, it's the Titanic. Everybody's going down. All of us are going to be miserable. I get angry. I get confrontational. I can't even fight, but I forget that on that stage because I will die defending that space.
Right.
But as soon as I step off, I'm like, this was crazy. What was I thinking? Jesus Christ, that was nuts. So yeah, but any young person embrace failure. It's the best teacher on earth. Don't be afraid of it.
I feel like you learn the most from failure.
Absolutely. And you have to fail to be anything.
When did you realize, how did you get the call or how did this happen that you're going to be at Radio City Music Hall headlining it? Like, was this something that you were striving for? How does it work in your world? Because I want to talk about the significance of you headlining this venue, what it means for you. So what are you representing?
To be honest, there's a small number of comics who have done Radio City. And I think I can get this done. I was talking to my wife about it. For the most part, we'd play the smaller venue and sell it out, like a 1,200-seat theater, and we'll sell that out. And there's the Beacon, which is 2,800, which I would have already sold out by now. And that was the safer play. But I just thought, that doesn't mean anything to me. Mm-hmm. doing this one means something to me. It truly is like, this is so lame, but it's true. I have a view of the Empire State Building in the apartment I live in, and that was so important to me because I look at it all the time, and I try to remember that New York didn't break me. Like, I came here in 2008, and it tests you at every turn, but I didn't let it break me. It bent the shit out of me, but it never broke me. And I think Radio City is significant of, like, the same thing, but in the grandest stage. I came here, it tested me at every turn, but it never broke me. I'm here. I'm at the relative top of the mountain. Like, not a lot of people have done this one.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. Let's do it. Let's try to sell it out. And it's a big, dude, 6,000 people. I'm not going to front.
That's a lot.
That's a tall task. I did 7,000 in Toronto, but Toronto, they got a lot of Indians.
Wait, you did 7,000 in Toronto?
But yeah, it was 1,000-seat, 1,160-seat theater, something like that. And we did 6 shows. I think it's 1,164 and 6 shows. So that's 7,000. But that's like, oh, you're just adding shows. That's so cool. Doing 6,000.
They're selling out.
Yeah, but doing a 6,000-seat venue is a different thing because you're looking at, and if I sold 3,000 of a 1,000-seater, I've done 3 shows. What a beast I am. 6,000, if 3,000 people show up, they're like, this guy's a loser. You know what I mean? What a loser. So, like, that's the risk of doing the big venue, but I felt like this is the one. Let's go for it. This is the one. Everything else will play it safe, but this one we're going for it.
Do you have people, like other comics, that you're excited to come and see you? Or do you prefer not knowing who's going to show up?
I hate knowing who's in the... I hate anytime I know who's in the audience. Again, that Steph Curry thing. They could see me have a bad night tonight, and they're not going to have seen all the other sets that went well. So they're going to be like, oh, this guy sucks. I can't believe this is my friend. You know what I mean? So I hate anytime. I don't want to know who's in the audience. Radio City, I'm already so nervous. Everyone can come.
Yeah.
But normally, I don't want to know who's there. I don't care. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to know, dude. I don't. If some executive is there, I don't care. Let them be there. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know anything?
No.
Now, so how are you backstage before you get onto the stage? Like, are you with your wife at this time?
No, get out of my face, dude. She knows you ignore me, show day. Like, do not talk, especially Radio City. Like, I'm not here to talk.
Like, from the time you guys wake up to him?
Basically.
Oh, my gosh.
Basically.
How
like,
about
very
the night
minimal.
before?
A little bit. She's going to want me to be, like, present, and I'm going to be like, we both know I'm not going to be present, and that's what it is. And I'm not saying don't talk to me at all, but on Radio City, don't talk to me at all, probably that day. So, like, very minimal text.
So when you're getting ready to go on stage, you're in your own room. Is that how it's going?
Yeah. I will text her, I'm about to go up. I love you. I need that good luck text before I go up. It's like really like adorably lame.
God, I love that.
That like she always hits me. And if she doesn't hit me, the 1 or 2 times she doesn't, I've been nervous going up. Like, man, I didn't get the good luck babe text from my wife. How am I gonna do? And it went okay, luckily. But like, yeah, anytime I'm nervous, I'll hit her up. I'm about to go on stage, baby. I love you. And then I wait for the good luck text, and then I'm like, whew, okay.
Oh, this
we're
is
good.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Now, how do you practice? Like for a comic, for yourself, are you writing different jokes? Are you rehearsing it? What goes behind the art form of just what you do? Because I don't think there's a real appreciation for it. And I'm speaking as someone who's a fan of just like, I think comics are incredible. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So what do you go through to create a show?
So I am, so every comic is like building their special, their 1 hour special, and you just test it in front of audience after audience after audience. And then I kind of put my bigger shows, quote unquote, bigger shows, venue-wise, legacy-wise, whatever, toward the end of that. So this hour I've started building in like 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think it's my best hour by far. I'm very proud of it. It's like my most personal, like all the stuff that I thought I wanted to talk about for 18, 19 years, however long I've been a comic, I'm finally kind of talking about in a way that I'm proud of. That was another thing my wife pushed me to do for years. She was like, you got these things that you want to talk about. You just got to do it. You just got to go for it. So you test it out in front of audience after audience, and then I think I'm going to keep tweaking it. I'm filming my special in October, and I'm just going to keep polishing it and polishing it and polishing it, seeing where I could shorten things, where I could strengthen things, and then, yeah. It'll be.
Are you going to be filming when you're performing at Radio City Music Hall?
I'm filming the show, but that won't be the special. The special
Gotcha.
I'm filming in October, and it will be these same jokes polished. But the thing is, you try not to go to a city twice with the same material.
Right,
Because
sure.
it's not music. Everybody's like, I don't
Right.
want to hear this again. So yeah, you try to just hit every market you can and work on it and hone it and craft it.
When will you know about your special? And how can people support? Like, what needs to happen from now till then?
Filming it October 17th and 18th. Netflix is coming to my show April 10th in LA. So
Okay.
this will probably be up by then.
Of course.
Yeah, they will have already come to the show. Again, it would be really cool if they wanted it, and it would be like a thing that my mom could tell people and whatever. But like, I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, dude, you want it? Great. If not, I'll be okay. Right. I'll figure it out. You guys haven't done anything this whole time, and we've been okay. So if you want it, that's awesome. I'm very thankful. If not, I appreciate you watching it. We'll be okay.
Yeah. So what do comics do with their special? Like, why is it important to have a special?
I mean, these are the jokes you work on. Each joke is a baby, and then the special is the body of work of that time period that you've been working on it. And then it's the album. You put it all out once every couple of years. This is it. And then I'm on to the next. But, the special is like a huge deal. We'll do a few tapings and try to make sure we get the best words and we didn't stutter here, stutter there. And like, a lot goes into it, a lot more than I realized. I remember when I saw I self-produced my last special and I paid for everything and I was like,
ooh, it's expensive.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even know.
Why is it so expensive? Because the reason I'm asking it is because I want people to understand how much investment you have to put in behind your artwork, right? Like, I forgot who just posted it. It was a comedian, but they were just talking about everything you need is in front of you and you just got to get it done. But it's a lot of work. You have to invest in yourself.
Yeah, the beauty of YouTube is we all have access, whereas before there was like a few gatekeepers.
Right.
But the upside of if the gatekeepers let you in, they did most of it. You got to do your jokes and that's it. This is like, we got to do everything on our own.
That makes sense.
So I remember when I did my special, I remember looking at the cost. It was like $200K or something. Like, what is this? How is this happening?
What?
I was like, I don't even understand what's going on here. Then when I got to the set where we were recording, the day before, I saw like 40 people building a whole set out. Like the set that's behind me in that special is like a bunch of stools with the chalk runner from the Indian flag. And I was like, this is a lot. There's people on walkie-talkies, got the headphones in.
It's a production.
And you understand, this is a whole thing.
Right.
And that's where the money's going. Yeah.
This is exciting. So you're also investing in the next special that you're filming.
Yeah, I'm. If Netflix wants it, they pay for it. If I want it, I pay for it out of my own pocket, and that's what it is. And I'll try to figure out a way to make the money back or whatever. This last one was free on YouTube, and it got it's at like 6.2 million, which is great.
What were you surprised with those numbers?
I mean, to me, I'm always gonna be like the loftiest expectations for myself, and then when it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna sulk like for like a month or two. Or whatever, and then my wife is gonna have to be there and be like, "It's okay, baby.
It's okay. We're gonna get through this."
Yeah.
Wait, did you get sued recently? Or
I did. No. It was if you keep this video up, we will sue. And I kept the video up.
Okay, what
no
happened?
lawsuit.
Because I'm a mom and I have a toddler. So a lot of times, if you're not putting captions and clear in a story, in your post, it's hard for me to listen to at times. But I remember seeing like you were getting sued, but you were okay with getting sued. I don't know if you're okay getting sued.
Well, no, this was wifey again. I get this email. I start freaking out. This guy's upset at some jokes I made about him, and I put the clip out. He's dressed like an idiot. I make fun of him. And I usually say at the top of a show, this is how I get away with so much with crowd work. I say, hey, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so we're going to make fun of you. I promise we'll laugh at me too. But if you think I went too far or you just don't want to be talked to, give me this motion.
You're really nice. Do other comics do this?
I don't know, but to me, it's also like, why walk out you feeling disrespected? Like, if you want to fight me on stage, I got to get beat up on camera. You know what I mean? Like, if I could fight, if I was a badass boxer, I'd probably be like, whatever, go fuck yourself.
Right.
But I'm not. And I want to have some self-awareness of like, I can't just make fun of y'all and then not make fun of me. It's just like, it's an unfair transaction at that point. But I tease him fairly hard. Like I just hated the way he was dressed, and I'm just kind of like, you look like an idiot, dude. I think it's fine. It's no big deal. Then I get an email to WME, and it was my agency, and they forwarded it to me, and they were like, hey, what do you want to do with this? And it's saying like, my client was whatever. You said racist things. The guy was Indian. Blah, blah, blah. I think misogynist, whatever. Like all these words are just using. And I'm like, I think we might need to take this video down. And then my wife got a master's in business journalism, so she learned a lot about free speech. She was like, dude, comedians do not lose free speech cases. You got it. Run with it. And I was like, oh, okay. Should I do like a video talking about it? And she was like, yeah, do that video.
Oh, she's good.
Yeah. She was like, baby, there's nothing will happen to you. I promise. You're a comedian. Free speech. I know this. You're fine.
Yeah.
So I just ran with it, made another video, and then it worked out.
And do they still want to go after you?
I haven't heard from them because I think they realize they don't have a case. Like,
but they still, we don't know. They still could be trying to get you at this point.
I mean, look, I will milk it. She was like, once I put that video out, she's like, if we get sued, You film yourself going into the courthouse.
You getting sued.
You get your, like, if we got to go to court, you get your money's worth. You're going to get whatever they sue you for, you're going to get in PR. If you lose, whatever you pay in legal fees, which you'll probably win, but even whatever you pay in legal fees, you're going to be fine. Just milk it for the PR. That's just a PR price. And she's right. Like, if I went in and I'm getting sued and I'm just talking about it on Instagram, like, that's a national news story. A comedian having to go to speech.
Were you nervous to do that, though? Like, to...
A little bit, but she was so confident, and she's normally the more anxious partner.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, yeah, let's go. If you're feeling confident, I'm good.
Then, like, what am I?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So... Do you want people to sue you or not sue you? What do we prefer at this moment?
Go ahead, sue. Run it up. Run it up, dude.
I want to talk to you a little bit about having conversations with politicians a little bit, right? Because people had something to say that, you interviewed Donald Trump on the pod and Bernie Sanders, other politicians. Right. Mark Cuban was on there. The list is long,
He's
right?
awesome. He's awesome. Mark Cuban's awesome.
And do you feel now, like, I know you spoke out about just this presidency, right? And people were
it's
upset.
a nightmare.
Right, because people credit that conversation that you guys had with Trump as one of the reasons why he won.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It might be one of the reasons. I think when people chalk it all up to us, it's like, what are y'all talking about? Like,
it's also unfair to say that you guys have that much power. I'm not trying to hate, but I understand.
No, of course.
Like, it's like, guys, it's many things at once, but this sure didn't help.
Dude, I literally looked it up on ChatGPT or one of those AI things. I was like, where was Donald Trump polling before he went on Flagrant? And the polls were too close to call. So maybe we pulled him ahead.
Wow.
But it wasn't like he was getting his ass beaten and then and this is after the debates and all that. It wasn't like he was getting his ass beaten and then we took him. It was a close race, and then I guess it ended up not being close. But I would credit that mainly, if we had any role, or bad, I guess, but like, I want to talk to Kamala too. So come talk to people. Mm-hmm. Don't have everything be so curated and so like polished and not even letting people get to know you. I think that's an important thing for a politician. Even if you don't give them personal information, you feel like you know this person. And I don't think she did that.
Did you... When you feel that people say that, like, hey, you guys co-signed and helped him, now when you see, what do you think about this presidency? How do you think he's doing?
I've been off social media for a while, but nothing seems good. I know the promises were Epstein list would be released, no more new wars. Right. He said on our podcast, and this is why I wanted to talk to him, is like, if you lie, at least I asked the question, and I know you lied to our face. And maybe that's not worth anything, but to me, it was worth asking and seeing if you'd lie. He said, we're going to start with deporting illegals first. We're not going to deport legal immigrants or whatever. And it's just like, no, you're sending away a lot of legal immigrants. And at every turn, I felt like we've been lied to. So I don't know how you can defend it. Even the most staunch Trump guy, which I was not. I didn't vote in the election. If I voted, I probably would have voted for Kamala, but honestly, I wouldn't have felt good about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how even the most staunch Trump guy can be like, it's all good. We've been lied to about everything.
Do you think now, looking at, like, if you were to have a conversation, what did that teach you during that time and now? In the sense of, like, not platforming somebody, I don't think I would do it differently. And I had to be delicate with him because I understood I could dunk on him and try to make a moment out of XYZ. I didn't hate him. I still don't really like hate him as a person, but like I thought if I say something that he adamantly disagrees with, I risk him getting up and walking off. And that makes me look good. But that's selfish. In my mind at the time, I thought that was my calculation. That I'm doing that so I can get views and so the left can celebrate me and the right might hate me, but I'll get so many whatever from it. So I said, let's ask him questions in a way that I think he will respond and I think we can gain his trust. And that's why we're laughing with him up top, because it's like, I want you to know we're not trying to do the gotcha thing. And we all were on the same page with this. We're not trying to do the gotcha thing. We have questions. We want to ask the questions that are important to us, but let's hear you out and let's make you feel safe first so you will answer those questions. Now, would you still handle it the same? Whether it's Donald Trump or another politician running for presidency, like now do you feel like, nah, I'm gonna be, approaching this conversation completely different because of what you've been through? I don't think on this, I'm wrong about a lot of stuff. And I think there's a lot of stuff I'd handle differently in my life. Right. I don't think this is one of them. And again, my calculation at the time was like how having him on the pod or not having him. This guy's in a close race. He could be president very well. Right.
Do I want to not talk to that guy? The interview went well, which is honestly a testament to him, and I think us as interviewers, but mainly him. If I don't talk to him and he wins, which he won in 2016, then what? Like, I didn't get any answers out of this guy. I could have talked to him and maybe asked him, and maybe 1% chance gotten through to him on something. Wow. I didn't take that chance. So to me, it was like the calculated risk was, let's talk to him, let's ask him what's important, and we'll move on.
You know what? This conversation comes up because I'm always conflicted with these moments, right? Like, should we be platforming with people that we disagree with, right?
Yeah.
It's for me, I'm speaking for myself. I've gone back and forth on this because it's like, no, I don't want to platform you. I don't believe in anything. There's nothing about Donald Trump for me that I agree with, right? So I always felt like, man, what would I do in that situation? I think obviously now where I'm at, I'm older, I'm wiser. I think the right thing to do is to have a conversation. Now, the intention and the questions have to be clear.
Yeah.
So I think for me, understanding and seeing what happened with you guys, and just in general, the lay of the land is just different, right? There's just different conversations happening all the time. So I understand the importance of having a conversation, but I do think people have to be equipped for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering, do you feel like now would you be equipped different, having political conversations?
Maybe a little sterner or whatever, and then maybe like, hey, there's a lot of things I didn't agree with up top, but it's still tough because you got to make him feel comfortable and like he's not being attacked. Mm-hmm. And there's 4 people asking questions, so you got to get your questions in. I think if I talk to him one-on-one, I might set a slightly stronger tone of like, hey, I want to make sure this is a respectful conversation. I hope you know there's a lot of things I don't agree with. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to feel attacked. I'm going to do my best to make you feel comfortable, but there are questions I want answers to.
But there's some questions that need to be answered.
I think I would say that up top, and hopefully that would go well on his behalf.
How do you think about Mayor Mamdani? How do you think he's doing?
He's awesome, dude. I love him. As a guy, I love him. And I'll say the same thing about Trump. As a person, very charming, very charismatic, magnetic energy. Anybody who hasn't met him probably hates him. But if you met him, you would at least say, I know how that guy won. Mamdani, different side, and I agree with his stuff more, but it's a similar kind of like, man, you just love that guy. He's got this very warm smile. He's quick. He's witty. He like has the right answer for everything that doesn't sound like BS. I don't think it's BS. Mm-hmm. I bought in. I'm in. I'm a fan of his. I text him every once in a while. And I know he had some stuff going on with his wife, so I just texted him like, man, I know what this is like. And it's a very unique hell. So if you need to talk, just hit me back. And he hit me back, which is cool. But I like him. And seems like he's doing well.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, which is like so rare. Yeah. Like you saw how we hesitate right now because we don't know because it's so unusual for politicians doing good and keeping their word. So far, it seems like everything's okay.
Yeah, the city's not falling to hell like everybody thought it would. So we're good
Facts.
there. Yeah.
And I think that's what I've always been mindful of like co-signing anybody. I just, I don't believe anybody anymore. Man. I'm traumatized by everything. Yeah. So, I love the evolution and seeing you have this conversation. Do you see yourself continuing cultural commentary?
I don't. I think to me now I've really learned that stand-up is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I wouldn't do a movie or get a check or whatever, but like I want to keep my focus there. Mm-hmm. And I think what happens a lot of times, if you have to put out a weekly product, especially with an algorithm, you start chasing the algorithm.
Ooh, that's right.
And then it morphs your product into something else.
That's right.
Like there's people who have criticized me or my wife who have like style pages and all of a sudden they're doing political commentary. And it's like, well, how did you get here? Yeah. Because your other sucked. And so you went and fed the algorithm and chased it. And now you're this political person you didn't want to be. I don't want to keep doing that. Mm-hmm. That's like a hamster wheel that never stops.
It's never ending.
I know what I love. I want to focus on what I love.
Whose career, when it comes to comics, that you really love, respect, and not necessarily replicate, but you really respect the grind?
Oh, Burr. Mm-hmm. I think we don't talk enough when we talk about like the greatest of all time, and he would be so annoyed to even have that conversation. I'm not even saying he is, but I think you should mention the fact that this guy has been consistently great.
I love Bill Burr, by the way.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hilarious.
He's hilarious. And 16 years, he's put out a ton of work, and you haven't noticed, maybe you didn't like the last special. I haven't seen the last one. I've heard some people didn't like it. Maybe they just don't agree with him.
I didn't watch the last special.
They might just not agree with him politically anymore, and they feel like, oh, he sucks. That might be all it is. But from 2008 to 2023, I watched every special he did, and they were all incredibly high level. And that's like so hard to not fall off. Every other great comic I can think of fell off.
Yeah, no, Bill Burr, I feel like has been consistent. But again, I haven't watched like most recent one. What makes a great comic to you? Like when you're talking about Bill Burr, what do you respect about his artistry?
I love that he's going to say a thing that's going to make you uncomfortable and make you laugh about it. That's my personal, I love that. I love when Chappelle does that. I love when Chris Rock does that. I love Burr doing that. I think Patrice was the best ever at that. I like not taking the safe route on everything. I think you see some comedians and they're doing well, but it's like, oh, you're never going to tell us anything opinionated. And God bless you. You're going to make a lot of money. I personally favor the guy who's going to say the unpopular thing and still make you laugh at it. I want to know who you are. Again, even if you're not telling me about your personal life, just knowing I know who this guy is after an hour. Kevin Hart, I think, is like the greatest performer I've ever seen. Just like watching him breaking down just like the act outs, how quick they can be, how strong they can be. I think he doesn't get nearly enough credit.
Wow, really?
He gets credit as a star. But as a stand-up, the first 3 specials were unbelievable. The first 2 for sure, but unbelievable.
Yeah.
So good. And I just want to have fun. And then Russell Peters I'll always give credit to because he's the guy that showed me it was possible.
Really?
I mean, I wanted to be that, but seeing him do it, it was just like, oh, wow, it's a thing.
You
can
happen.
do it. And whether we want to admit it or not as brown comics, I think a lot of brown comics don't give him credit for some weird reason, but he opened all the doors. Because of him, he was the proof of concept that this thing could work. So even if you want to do a different style of comedy, he was the proof of concept. There didn't exist before him. You think an industry exec thought an Indian comic would be successful before? No. So that's the guy to me.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of comics?
Ooh, that's tough. I think...
this is your personal. This isn't a weird ranking. Because I hate when people are like, who's the greatest ever? And it's like, well, my opinion on the greatest is different than what the charts say.
You'd have to put Pryor in the greatest ever, but I didn't grow up with Pryor, so I respect how good he is, but I don't, if I was in the time, that would have been crazy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, any personal bias aside, I'm just looking at these guys, these guys are the ones. It's Burr, Rock, Patrice O'Neal, and I think Dave Chappelle. That'd probably be the 4.
Have you come across some of the comics that you respect, and how have they been towards you? I'm always so curious how it is in the comic
mixed
world.
Bag.
No.
Some of them I ran my mouth publicly, and it's I regret doing that. And now people are doing. You know what he said? He said people are going to do this to you, and people started doing it to me, and I was like, yeah, he was right about that. Even though I do agree with what I said, I should have said it to them privately, and I didn't have any avenue to say it to them privately. But I could have found a way to or just hold on to it and just hey, keep that in the tuck. And when you see him, stand your ground. And I did. I apologized to him in that moment. I said, I'm sorry I said it publicly, but I do stand by what I said. And he wasn't happy about that, but I think there was a respect level
At
there
least
of
you said it to this person.
I think he thought I would just apologize immediately because I'm a little guy and I look like I can be bullied.
I assume people know in your world who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, because I have no idea. I'm
okay, I'm glad. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I don't. But I'm super mainstream. What? Who said what in comic world?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But but that's who you are. I think. I don't feel like that. I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Yeah, and if I could do it again, I wouldn't have said it publicly, but I would have found a way to, hopefully with love, say it to him or get it to them privately. Hey, man. I don't know if this is whatever,
Yeah. Is there a camaraderie amongst comedians?
I think there should be, and I think I probably violated it with that one. But generally speaking, we should ride for each other. And, I think that's happening less and less.
Yeah.
And
why do you think that is?
Because now you have to do everything on your own, and you have to have your own YouTube channel. And you have to feed the algorithm.
Gosh.
Again, talking about my situation with my wife, there was an algorithm bonus. It was in the algorithm. It's what you needed to talk about, so everybody had an opinion. I've been on that side of it now, so I get it. I've also been on the other side where you're just feeding the beast. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't begrudge. Even if I feel a way, I can't hate a comic who didn't know me, who ran with it in XYZ. I do have a feeling about the people who knew me and still said it and could have reached out to me and chose not to. That's where I feel a way.
When you hear people talking about Joe Rogan's podcast, I've listened to his podcast.
Yeah.
I know we know it's Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Do you have, I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't know this person. What's something about him that we don't know?
Again,
obviously, I don't agree with a lot of things he says, but I'm also trying to be open-minded to you because you clearly went on his pod twice.
Well, this is kind of similar to the Colin story where Schultz was filming Infamous. This was November of 2021, I think, or September. No, September of 2021, I think. And I go fly down to Austin to watch it. Joe Rogan comes to a taping. He's never met me before in my life. We've never said a word to each other. He sees me. He gives me a hug. Immediately, he says, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And they starts having a conversation. He's making eye contact, like actually listening to me. And it was crazy because I'm like, this guy's worth whatever, however many million, 100 million, whatever. And he's just like giving me undivided attention. And then the only time he broke his attention was for a comic who, like, I can do nothing for Rogan. This guy at the time could do nothing for me. He broke eye contact with me and he goes, "I'm sorry, and just give me a second." And then the comic was black for what it's worth. But he goes, "Derek," gives him a big hug, talks to him for a minute, then comes back to me. And I was like, you know how they say you can tell who a person is by how he treats someone who can't do anything for them? That is a guy that will never be able to do anything for Joe. He's going to be great. Derek Poston is his name. He's going to be huge. But like, Joe's not looking at him like, this guy could help me. I need to be nice to him, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, that's a real guy. And I remember another story, the Ambani wedding I went to, which is like the richest wedding people, the richest family in India had a wedding.
That's right. I saw that.
They asked me to ask Joe to come. So I text him. And I'm like, this could be an opportunity, whatever. And I'm going because it's like, it's if you're an Indian, this is a royal wedding. I got invited. I'm going. There's no way you're stopping me.
Like, how did you get the invite?
I don't know to this day. I have no idea. Again, I don't think I'm famous, so I'm like, I don't know who.
You went to their wedding.
Yeah, it was insane. But I asked Joe, "Do you want to come?" And then Joe goes, "Nah, I appreciate it, but I don't go to weddings of people I don't know." And I was like, what a pure guy.
Absolutely.
He goes to a wedding to celebrate love. I'm not there to make friends or do business. I'm there to celebrate love for people I love, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that sounds like such a stupid thing, but like, pretty much anybody else would have been like, yeah, every rich, famous person is going to be at this wedding. I'm going to go. I did that.
Right.
So I looked at him and I was like, oh, that's so cool that he's just like, yeah, there's probably so much money to be made in India, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know them. I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't know them. Like, who?
Yeah. Now I think I might be more like that, but at the time I was like, you cannot sign me up fast enough for this wedding. And I actually had to still go back because all the Bollywood stars were there, and that's like
how fun was it?
How
many days was it?
It was 3 days. I think we were there. It felt like a convention more than a wedding.
Wow.
Like, it was like crazy, the opulence you're seeing. But the craziest thing to me was just seeing these Bollywood stars. Some of them I grew up watching. And like, if you're, what they call us NRIs, like a non-resident Indian, you're Indian, but you didn't grow up there. Bollywood was like our connection to India. So seeing these stars, even the ones who were like younger than me, I'm like, oh, that's that guy, that's that girl, that's that girl. Seeing the cricket stars was crazy. So that's where it was like, it felt like a really cool thing for my wife and me to experience in that way.
Would you want to be in a Bollywood film?
I would absolutely be in a Bollywood film. Without hesitation, I would be in a Bollywood movie. I'm a solid dancer. I got it. Let's go. Over Hollywood any day. Way less money, but I would way rather do a Bollywood movie. Not even a question.
What does success look like for you after you headlining Radio City Music Hall?
I hope this next hour I put out is seen as like a great all-time special, and I hope to keep getting better as a comic, and I hope to have a family and be a good dad, husband, whatever, and have a happy family. I don't want a rich family that's miserable. Mm-hmm. And I want to have money, obviously. Like, I'm not going to front like I don't like money. It's great. I want it, but I don't want it at the cost of the happiness of the people I love.
If someone's going to discover you for the first time, as far as going to your show, they're like, hey, you know what? I've seen his specials. I've seen the YouTube. I've seen his clips. I've heard his cultural commentary. But I'm going to go see him at Radio City Music Hall. What do you want them to walk away understanding about you?
I hope they think this is a guy who's not evolved in the sense of like he's an evolved human being, but he's evolved a lot from where he was. And you're watching like a man grow up in this special. And I laughed the whole time. This one is like my most heavy one, but I never want it to be a one-man show where I'm just like preaching and you're just like not funny for 10 minutes in a row. Like, I want you to laugh a lot and say this guy has a good perspective and a healthy perspective, and I feel like he evolved a lot from where he started without even seeing his old stuff. I can just tell.
What's the number one piece of advice that you've held onto this entire time throughout your journey that would be beneficial with an upcoming comic right now who's watching your journey?
First of all, you ask great questions.
Oh, thank you.
Second of all, I said it earlier, but you have to embrace failure. And that's for any person in their 20s, even in their 30s. try everything, fail at everything. Who cares? You have a lot of time to figure it out. Like when I was 25, I thought I was old. And at 40, I'm too old to be hip or cool or like set trends, but I'm not old in a business sense. If you're 25, you got out of college at 22, you're a 3-year-old in your career. At 40, I'm an 18-year-old in my career. So again, I'm too old to try to be really cool and trendy and listen to all the new music. But in my career sense, I'm just now figuring it out.
That's right.
So try everything, fail at everything in your 20s and 30s. You're a baby. Just like babies touch the hot stove, go touch a bunch of hot stoves. And then you'll be fine in 10 years after that.
Looking back at that young you, the younger version of Akaash, when you weren't making money, and what was it? You're making $25 a night doing stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah.
What would he say if he saw you now?
Somebody asked me this question, and it gave me perspective because you're so caught up in I'm trying to sell this many tickets or whatever, and I'm not even looking at what accomplishments I've done. And that was a grounding thing. And he'd be like, holy fuck, you did it. You did it. It don't matter how many tickets you sell. You did it. You did the thing.
That's right.
And I try to remember that, but I forget. As soon as I say it, I'm like, who fucking cares? We're going to sell 6,000 tickets. Go sell 6,000 tickets. So if you're listening, please buy a ticket.
Please.
Bring your friend. Bring 5,000 friends.
Akaash is going to be headlining Radio City Music Hall. This is crazy. Saturday, April 18th. It is finally happening.
I hope to see all of you there.
Yes.
Katrina, I want to see a wedding ring on your finger by the time April 18th comes around.
That's right. Tone, get that ring on her finger.
Tony, if you want to give me a viral clip you propose on stage at Radio City, what a win for everyone involved. I think this is great. Everybody will walk out feeling like they had a hell of a show. So just think about that.
Yeah, think about it.
But I love you. You're the best. Thank you so much.
I love you, and I'm so proud of you. Let me just say that I'm so proud of your journey. I've done a very terrible job keeping in touch throughout the years. But truly, like I've been trying to get better, self-reflecting. I know like what I've gone through should not be an excuse of trying to keep in touch with people that have been good to me along the way. So I'm so thankful. Truly.
And you're honestly one of the realest, coolest people.
Thank you, Akaash.
I've been pretty selective about who I've spoken to this run, even if it cost me some ticket sales. You're top of the list. I would love to do.
You know when you hit me up? Yeah. You know, I never try to impose. Like, I'm not that person who's like, hey, you're viral, come talk to me. Like, that's just not how I've ever moved.
Right.
I was so happy that you wanted to come and talk about you headlining Radio City Music Hall because, first off, it's Hot 97 and we're the greatest. Yeah. And hello. But we've never had a conversation like this before. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like it's so fitting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the one time that we have a conversation like this where I get to talk to you and talk about, you know, your stand-up comedy, we get to talk about it as you're getting ready to headline Radio City Music Hall. Yeah. The universe really works in magical ways. Yeah. Like, I can't even explain how crazy this is. So, awesome. Like, knowing, like, from MTV days, we're talking 11 some years ago at this point. Yeah. And the fact that I have never asked you, not because I didn't want you, but I just felt like, you know what? He's probably getting hit up all the time. You're in a different zeitgeist of this world, right? Like you're doing your thing.
Thank you.
I never wanted you to feel, hey, I'm tapping in because you're popping out here, right? That's not my thing. Yeah, but I always wanted you to know, of course, anytime you want to come through, it's always going to be love.
Like, I love that.
I'm going to approach conversations with love. Yeah, I'm going to ask questions because we got to ask questions that, you know, may be difficult, but I appreciate you coming through and having a conversation.
Dude, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you always being you.
Thank you so much. And I need, you know who the star of this is, right?
My wife.
That's right.
Can't have nothing.
Let's go, Akaash. We love you.
I love you. Thank you. Love you.
Of course.
God bless.